Have you ever had the hair on the back of your neck stand up when something just doesn't feel right? That's happened to me while I was hired to clean a house. Back years ago, I had a house cleaning business. That was back before the internet. So the way of advertising was through the newspaper, business cards. I put my business card on the bulletin board at the local library, and this man called me and asked about me cleaning his house. He really wasn't wanting to meet me, didn't have time to meet me, he said. So anyway, we made arrangements. I gave him a price over the phone, which is probably mistake number one. But I gave him a price over the phone, and I showed up. He put the key in the mailbox. I walked in. It was a 2-story house, and immediately when you walked in, there was the upstairs staring at you. He had told me not to worry about the upstairs. Just the downstairs is all that he wanted cleaned. So anyway, as I said, the upstairs was right there immediately when you walked in. I could see up the staircase that all the doors were shut. Didn't think a whole lot about it. You had to kind of walk down a hallway to get into the house. The kitchen was right there on your right as you was going down the hallway. And then the living room was a separate room straight ahead. It had a doorway going into it too. Walked into the living room. He had told me I didn't need to bring my vacuum, that he had a vacuum that I could use. The vacuum he left was cram-packed full. No way. I mean, clogged up, packed full. No way he was using it to vacuum up anything. So I kind of looked at the bathroom. The bathroom was in pretty bad shape. So I went into the kitchen. As I said, this was a hallway, and each one of these rooms were separate rooms. They each had their own doorways. It wasn't like an open floor plan or anything like that. Well, the kitchen looked like it had weeks of dirty dishes stacked up. So I got busy. I started cleaning on them. I was there probably 2 hours, and the more I was there, I just had this weird feeling like I wasn't in the house by myself. And all I could think of in that kitchen was, there was space. I was blocked from the front door, is all I could think, was I was blocked from the front door, and I just kept getting this feeling. It got more intense and more intense as I cleaned. And finally, after about 2 hours, I thought, I can't do this. There's no way. This is weird. I really, really felt like someone was upstairs. And like I said, I never met this man. Just talked to him over the phone. He got my number off of a bulletin board at the library. Told me that he was a tutor at a local school. And that's why he couldn't meet me, because his schedule was just too busy. But as I said, after 2 hours and this feeling kept getting more and more and more intense, I kind of made the decision that I had to get out of there, because all I could imagine was if someone stepped into that doorway of that kitchen, I was trapped. There was no way out. So I left. After I'd cleaned for 2 hours, I left. He had left me a check on the table for the amount that we had agreed on. I left it there. Number one, I didn't think that I had finished cleaning the house, but I just couldn't take the check. I got back home, and later that day, I got a phone call, and it was him. And he said, you left your check laying here. And I said, yeah, I did. And he said, why did you do that? And I said, because I didn't finish the job that I agreed to, so I did not feel like I deserved the check. And he did his best to try to get me to come back to get the check, but I never did. So I still don't know what that feeling was. I can't say that it was him, but it was just a weird feeling. And ever since then, I'm kind of like, if there's a feeling, if you ever get that feeling, it's time. You got to get out. You got to get out of there. So anyway, let's talk about something that's a little less creepy. I have I've been doing my food budget this month. I have a $900 food budget that does include eating out. It does include groceries. As I had said last month, I usually always try to set my budget between $800 and $900 in a month, and majority of the time I will go over. Last month, the month of July, I went over by $500. That is an insane amount. So this month I gave myself a little challenge to see if I could stay within that food budget. If I could do 800, I would feel great. If I could do 700, I would be ecstatic. I know that may sound extreme to some people, and but and I don't know where it all goes. That's why I wanted to do the budget or the challenge. So this is my week 3 update. So far this month, I have spent on groceries $308.04, and I've spent on dining out $355.82. That sounds like a lot on dining out. We don't do a lot of fast food, so that's just a couple of probably restaurants, because we haven't been to that many restaurants neither. It's just, I feel like it's gotten so expensive to eat out, and I've got to trim it. But anyway, that comes to a total of $663 so far this month. So I am still within my budget. Whew, thank goodness. My budget, like I said, I set for $900. I rounded up the $663.86 to $664. That says I still have $236 left on my budget this month. This is the 22nd. Shouldn't need a whole lot of groceries if I can make myself eat at home. I shouldn't need a whole lot of groceries, just the basic milk, stuff like that. I did just go to Sam's. I stocked up on onions because I was out, and bell peppers, and then I got some more potatoes. These onions, I am chopping them up, and I'm going to flash freeze them, and then I'm going to bag them up. So then I just pull them out of the freezer as I need them. It makes them, that's my way of making less waste.